Hi Flosstube, I'm back. I'm back for my video number 2. I'm Angie. I don't have a fancy name for my Flosstube. I'm just Angie. I'm Angie and this is a channel about cross stitch and maybe some other things if I do other things. I am a multi-crafter, so I do have several other things that I could show, but I'm not doing any of those right now because I'm preparing to move and I don't want to make a giant mess. So this is my channel. To be completely honest, this is actually video number 3 because on Monday I recorded video number 2 and I won't pretend it was organized. I will just say that it was decent. I was proud of it. I was happy with it. And then I edited it and then I tried to get it off my phone onto my computer. Long story short, I couldn't get the video off my phone, couldn't get it onto YouTube, and so I'm trying again. I don't know what was wrong. I'm just really not tech savvy, but I do have a different camera coming in the mail and it will hook up directly to my computer so I can just record everything to my computer instead of on my phone, which means there will not be my nightmare collection in the background unless I move some stuff around for fun. We shall see. So, video number 2, I was going to tell you all about my Stitch Mania plans and new starts. So I think I will go ahead and just jump right in with my Stitch Mania plans for you and go from there. For Stitch Mania, my plan is to get the gifts that I am doing for friends and family members. I don't think I have any for friends. To get the gifts done. When I went crazy buying patterns at the beginning of the year, most of what I bought was intended to be a gift for somebody for Christmas this year, knowing that I was going to need time because you can't just, most of these are large enough that you can't just whip it out. It's gonna take some time. I have only worked on one of them, so I felt like if I used those as my Stitch Mania, then I would get some progress done and it would be a good balance. So unlike many of the other Stitch Mania people, I'm not planning to start 21 projects or a project a day or a project every other day, or it's not so much that as I'm going to spend Monday through Friday of each week in May working on one specific cross-stitch project gift. When I've made a significant amount of progress on that, then that weekend I will start something new because I do have quite a few patterns that are new that I really like and I'm really excited to get started on. So I should be starting 4 things, I think, yeah, 4 things this May, but I should also be very close to finishing at least 2 things, if not very close. One of them won't be close because I'll have just started it. Well, we'll see. So I guess I'm just gonna jump right in and show you what I've done. So first, in my last video, I showed you a project that I was almost finished with for a wedding present. I called it Wedding Birds. It's actually called Family Tree. And I'm finished. Ta-da! I see how you guys all fold these up or you have these fancy boards to put behind your patterns and it's all so fancy and I'm not fancy. Not yet anyway. So we have the birds done. The pattern isn't complete because in the original pattern it's got the words, the names and the dates. I'm not going to do that. I feel like this is just pretty like this and I think this will be perfectly fine. I like it this way better. I didn't like the alphabet. I know you can change that, but I didn't want to mess with it. So this is officially my first Mania finish. So I'm very excited about this. I finished this on Friday night. Is it Friday night? Yes. I finished this, and I technically could have started one of my new projects on Saturday, but nothing had arrived in the mail. So I didn't start anything. So I just continued working on my gifts. So that is finish number 1. I'm very excited. All right, so the next project that I'm working on, you saw it last week, and I really, really, really wish that the other video had worked, because then I could have shown you better all of my progress. But unfortunately I can't, so I'll just kind of have to show you. But this is my Star Trek pillow sampler. And so what you saw, let me do some scrolling. Okay, so I'm really good at this, can you tell? So what you saw was that I had just started the saucer part of the ship up here, and I had gotten the phaser and most of Spock. What I did is I finished the ship. I got all of these stars. A couple of them were already done, but most of these stars I worked on. I got the word live, the live long and prosper signal that I cannot do with my hand, more stars, and this ship, which I have now stitched twice, because when I stitched it, I accidentally lined it up over here. So I frogged it, started it over here, miscounted on this part of the saucer, frogged that, and started that. So this silly little ship took me the entire day today to accomplish. But it's done. But I would say that I have most definitely made some significant progress on this. I am now, according to Pattern Keeper, 40% done with the pattern. I'm happy with that. I'm very happy with that. So I can continue to work on this in the future, but I will feel comfortable putting it away this week. That way I can start something new tomorrow. So this is Star Trek Pillow Sampler. Gift for my mother. Okay, the next gift is for my sister-in-law. I'm not fancy. I do not have fancy project bags. I would like to get some in the future, for sure. I might even try making some, but right now, these are my project bags. Giant Ziploc bags. You know, they work. So, this came in the mail on Saturday, so yay. This is Let's Bake by Imaginating, and this is a gift for my sister-in-law, who is a fantastic cook and loves to bake, and I felt like this would be something she would probably enjoy in her kitchen. I wanted to change the colors up, but I opted to just go ahead and buy the colors. But what I might do is, so down here is a wooden spoon, but they have it all in red. I might change that to brown. There's a few things. The letters, some of the letters, like this one, it's supposed to say love, but I swear, can you see that? It looks to me like it says cove. So I'm going to adjust a few things on the pattern just to make it look a little bit better. But really, most of this will just be done. And most of this is just words and back stitching. So when I do start this, which I think I'm going to start this on Monday, it probably won't take long. I mean, it will still take long, but it probably won't take as long as, say, Pillow Sampler. So that is gift number 2. Gift number 3. I don't have a picture. If I can figure out how to edit a picture in, I will put a picture in right here. Gift number 3. It hasn't started yet, but at least it's on a Q-snap, right? Every little bit helps. This one is going to be the Harry Potter pillow sampler. So if you remember from last week, I had my Harry Potter, giant Harry Potter. It looks just like that, except it's a condensed version. Simple, but that one's for my mother-in-law. She will love it. She loves pillows, she loves Harry Potter. So this will work perfectly on her couch. Then the gift I'm gonna start at the end of this month. This will be week 4. This is the gift for my husband, and this is a Star Trek pillow sampler. And this one I'm going to use the same fabric I'm using for Spock, but I'm gonna do 1/1 instead of 2/2. And it's gonna get put in a frame instead of in a pillow. So that is the gift. I have the fabric and I have the threads. I just don't have any of it put together on a Q-snap because I figure I don't need to yet. So those are those. So those are my gifts. And we're gonna pretend that I have a real, firm, solid plan for Stitch Mania, but really my plan is just stitch as much as I can during the week, call it good, so I can start the new stuff. And what's the new stuff? Really, really awesome stuff. Let me tell you, I'm so excited. Cannot wait to show you because a whole bunch of it came in the mail today and yesterday. So let me grab them and exciting. New starts. This is gonna be fun. I received a bunch of happy stitchy mail over the past 2 days, and I have some more coming tomorrow, but I didn't want to wait until tomorrow to film the video. So we're gonna go ahead and just get started now. So first, this came in the mail for me. This is a Little House Needleworks. It's called 13 Colonies. Let me show it to you. Isn't that pretty? I thought this would be a great project to start on since I am soon to be moving to Virginia. And Virginia is one of the 13 colonies, so it works. So 13 colonies, I will be stitching that on this 40 count platinum Newcastle. It's a funny story. I actually have quite a bit of now fabric stash because as I was ordering everything, I kept putting things in my cart, continuing to shop, and then going back to my cart and finding things were unavailable. So for the longest time, this pattern was not available. And neither was the fabric. But I had put a whole bunch of this other fabric in with charts, and then the charts would become unavailable, but then I'd say, oh, well, I'm just gonna keep the fabric so I don't have to come back for it later. But I forgot what charts I ordered, or I was trying to order. Because I just random, that looks good, that looks good, that. Anyway, so I just happen to have this at home because the fabric that's called for on this pattern is still not available, or at least the last I checked. When I ordered this pattern as well, none of the DMC floss was available, but all of the Weeks Dye Works and Classic Color Works were available. So here's the thing about fancy flosses. I've not used them before, and that's okay. I just use DMC. I'm willing to try the fancy flosses, but I am a very frugal person. I've always been a very frugal person. My husband has to buy me the expensive stuff because I just won't do it myself. So if it comes down to 56 cents or $2.50 to $6 for one skein of a color, if it's not going to affect the pattern, I probably will just go with DMC. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm okay with that. It doesn't bother me. But because this pattern only had the fancy floss available and it wasn't that expensive when I put the pattern and the floss in the cart, I just went ahead and bought them. So it comes with 3 Weeks Dye Works, and I'm gonna try to be fancy here. So I have olive, and then this one is called Dolphin, and that's a little tangled, oops. And then this one is called Cocoa. So I've got those 3. And then for Classic Colorworks, I have Roasted Chestnut. I have Stepping Stone. Pea Pod, which I actually really, really like because I like green. And then 2 skeins of Caterpillar. And then I just have to go to Hobby Lobby or somewhere to pick up the DMC. So that is start. I'm not gonna say number 1 or anything because I don't know when I'm gonna start it. I'm just gonna start it this month. Next up, I was really worried about this one because I couldn't order it off 123 Stitch because it wasn't available, but I was so anxious to get it, I just ordered it off Amazon through a private seller, and then I got notified that it was lost in the mail, and then I was thinking, oh no, and they were saying, contact the seller, get a refund, and then it showed up. So this is my second. I'll show you my first in a minute, but this is my second Mirabilia, and this is Stargazer. And I have skipped over her in the cart for pretty much the last 2 months that I've been looking for a Mira, because to be quite honest, in this picture, she does not look super magical. But I found a picture, I think it was on Pinterest or somewhere online, where someone had stitched her on a different kind of fabric, and it just blew me away. It was so beautiful. So I ordered some of that fabric. It's not the same as in the picture, but I ordered something similar, and it should be getting here any day now. When it does, I'll show you. But got her, just her, and then I raided my stash and went to Hobby Lobby and picked up all the flosses. And once the fabric gets here, I want to start her. I may not be able to start her yet. I really hope I can. It's between her and the other Mira, so it's kind of a toss-up which one is more exciting to me, because the other one was super exciting when I bought it. But, you know, priorities change, right? Next up, let's see if I've got it. Okay, next up, this is the one I'm starting tomorrow. So this is start number 1 for this month. And the only reason is because I just cannot let it sit in this bag any longer without stitching on it. This is my wrinkled picture of my very first long dog sampler. It would help if I did this the right direction, right? So this one's Pavan for our time. And it's just beautiful. And I don't think I've actually been able to really just sit and look at all the images on here and really appreciate. Looks like it's mostly flowers, which is just fine. So it's just so pretty. I really, does this just not speak to you? This speaks to me. But it says, turn your face to the sun and the shadows fall behind you, which is a beautiful message. So this one I ordered, as everything falls to the floor, 36 count antique white Edinburgh linen. Just simple white linen, because I am going to be using DMC 115 variegated floss for this. How pretty is this? I hate, and I hear all of you say this when I watch your Flosstube channels, I hate how the lighting in the camera affects the colors of your floss so much, because to you, this looks bright red. Maybe not quite bright red, but it looks very red. To me, this is deep maroon. Deep maroon, and the bright color you're seeing, it's not that bright. That's okay. I'm sure you can imagine with me. So this is getting started tomorrow. So I can't wait to film next week and show you where I've gotten with this one. The next one is my very first Mira. This was the Mira I bought because the one I really wanted is discontinued. So I'm on the hunt for that, and I think I've got a copy coming to me. We shall see. But this one is really pretty, and I'm excited to stitch this one. But this one is Roses of Provence. Isn't she pretty? That dress is to die for. If I could wear one of those dresses to a military ball, I think that would just be fun. I love this one. I ordered this one. I liked how it looked so much on the cover, which is unusual as I understand it, that I just went ahead and ordered the called for fabric. So this is the 32 count white chocolate linen. And then I got almost all the flosses. There's a couple flosses missing. No, sorry, not a couple flosses. I picked those up yesterday. There's one set of beads missing, so I have all the beads in here too. I'd go through it all, but it's just a mess waiting to happen. Obviously, I am not super organized at this yet. But there's one set of treasure beads that's been discontinued. So I think somewhere there's a list of replacements or alternates that you can use. Okay, so this one is my conundrum. And forgive me, this might take a little bit to explain. Okay, so first of all, you guys know I love Clouds Factory. Clouds Factory is a fantastic pattern site. If you like their style, which I love their style. I love pop culture. Anything that makes me feel reminiscent of my childhood or current times, but in a fun way, I just love it. So when I saw this was being offered, this is Epic Disney Princess, I jumped at it. This has every main princess that Disney has had, minus like Robin Hood. Maid Marian's not on here, although technically I don't know if she's a princess, but I mean, if you think about it, technically some of these are not princesses, but this has Snow White, Sleeping Beauty, Cinderella, Ariel, Belle, Jasmine, that's Pocahontas, Mulan. Mulan's not really a princess, right? But there you go. Princess and the Frog. Sorry, I'm having a hard time seeing these. Tangled, Merida, Frozen, and Moana. So it's got all of those princesses. So what I like about this, I'm going to just do a quick recap, is when you buy this, this was originally a stitch along. So the frame for this pattern is free. They have different options, so you have to read carefully which option you're buying. So you can buy this option, which is all the frames put together. So this is going to be one gigantic piece. You can have the option where the frame comes down and is even on the bottom, because eventually Disney's going to release more princess movies, and so Clouds Factory will make patterns for them, and for the next 2 princesses, you will automatically be able to stitch those princesses there. I can't remember if you get the patterns, if you order it that way. I can't remember if you get the pattern for free as well because you ordered this, or if you still have to buy the princess pattern. I might have to look that up and see. You can also get the frame that looks like this, but each one is separate so that you can frame them in 3 pieces instead of one giant piece, which I think is fantastic because not everybody wants to go spend money on a giant frame. I will probably just build my own frame, so that's not going to be as big of a deal, and then just get some glass or something cut for it if I want glass in it. You can also, if you don't want to do this, or if you don't like some of the princesses, you can order each row of princesses separate, and it comes with its own little border around it. So you could just stitch up 3 or 4 princesses if that's what you like. So that's what I really loved about this, and I just thought this was something fun that could be, someday I might have grandkids that are going to run through my house, and that would be fun for them to be able to, oh, look at all these princesses. I know which ones. One can hope. One can hope. So here's my problem. I bought, when I was ready to do this, I bought a fabric. The called for on this is a dark navy fabric, and I was not a fan of the dark navy. So I went ahead and I bought what said Antique White Ada, thinking that all of the colors would pop against the white. The problem is the antique white, I know it's not pure white, but this looks very much like butter. This is very, very yellow. Not, when I think of antique white, I think kind of off-white. It still looks white, but it looks a little bit dingier than bright white. This doesn't look like that. This looks, so this color is just not what I want. So then I went ahead and I remembered that I'd purchased a roll of what I thought at the time was Ada, because I didn't read, and I thought it was 22 count Ada, and I didn't read the packaging. So I brought it home. It was bright white, and I dyed it this really, really pretty gray, which this is exactly the color I want to stitch on, because it's not super dark, it won't hurt my eyes, but it's not super light, and it's not yellow. But the problem is, when I went to go stitch on it, I realized that it wasn't Ada, and if I stitch it 2 over 2 like I was planning, which I think some people would think 22 count 2 over 2, what? Anyway, that's what I was planning, and yeah, that wasn't gonna work because the fabric's not big enough. So I'd have to do 1 over 1, which I started, but then I felt like the people would be so small you wouldn't be able to see them. So I put this away. And then I ordered what looked like a nice light gray color off of 123 Stitch it's called Confederate Gray, and it came and it looks baby blue. To be fair, when I go and I look at it, it does look like a light blue, but it looks more gray. At least to my eyes, it looked more gray on the photograph than it looks in person. So now I'm kind of, and this is 18 count, so now I'm kind of in a conundrum. I'm not sure what to do. Do I pull this out and try 1 over 1 and just say do it? Do I take this and just order some more and just do it in separates, or just all on one? Do I dye this? Could I add some gray to this and dye it and make it a darker gray blue? Because that would probably be pretty. Or I do have this, which is 18 count white Aida. I don't know if it's big enough, but I could measure it and maybe just stitch it on white or dye this one another color. I just don't want to dye this one and then have it not work like the other one. Thoughts? So I've got 4 fabrics for 1 pattern and none of them are promised to it. First world problems? Anyway, that is something that I will start, but obviously not anytime soon because I have nothing to stitch it on yet. The last one that I have is also a Clouds Factory design. I do not have a picture available. I had a picture, but it has gone missing. Okay, well, this one is a stitch along. It's a mystery stitch along. Hey, I found the pattern. It was just, underneath. Just dropped all my threads on top of my dog. Okay, so this is also a Clouds Factory. This one is the Grimm's Fairy Tale stitch along. May was released. Each one of these gets released on the 1st of the month. So May was just released. And this is when I want to start this month. I picked up some 16 count Barnwood Aida. I've got it all ready to go. I just have to, of course, adjust the tension. I've got all of my threads. Seriously, I need to stop dropping stuff on my dog. I've got all of my threads ready to go. This is my favorite way to do floss. I just ordered these little cards off Amazon, and then I use a Sharpie, and by the time I'm done with the project, I can just kind of wipe the Sharpie off. Oh yeah, those 3 are for the specialty threads. So, but this is by far my favorite way. It's just, I haven't tried another way that I like better for organizing my threads. So with this one, this is the first time I consciously ordered specialty threads. And the reason was because when I ordered this, I just ordered the equivalent in DMC. And when it got there, I looked at them and realized that where these threads are supposed to go on the pattern, it absolutely changes the way the pattern looks if I don't use Weeks Dye Works. And that is because these ones are variegated and they're done on the letters of the pattern and they're gorgeous when they're done. So by using DMC, I just wouldn't get the same effect. So these are the 3 specialty flosses. I've got 2 skeins of each. We have Weeks Dye Works Cherub, Hibiscus, and Berry Splash. And they're each lightly variegated and they're super pretty. And I went ahead because I knew that the pattern would not look the same or as good without these. So I went ahead and bought them. So I'm not completely unreasonable when it comes to threads, but if it's not going to be a noticeable difference, I don't care. So those are all of my starts. I will be starting this one because I don't want to get too far behind and then end up with this giant pattern that I have to scramble at the end. I haven't decided which Mira I'm gonna start. I have a feeling it will probably end up being Stargazer, just because I think that once I discovered her, I loved her more than Roses of Provence, but I also really like Roses of Provence. So my plan is to start the Long Dog Sampler tomorrow and work on that through Sunday. Monday, I'm gonna start Let's Bake. If I finish it, because words are easier to stitch than almost anything, if I finish that, then I will probably just move on to the next start, which is the Harry Potter. Next weekend, I plan to start one of the Miras, so either Stargazer or Roses. After that, I think it's going to continue to be Harry Potter, because I really do need to make a dent in that. And then it will be one of the other Miras, whichever one. And then the last gift I'm going to start is the Star Trek ship one. That one's for my husband. And I don't know if he'll finish his before Christmas, but he's the kind of guy that he probably won't care. That's okay. He'll see me stitching on it too. But after that, I can't remember if there's another weekend after that. After that, that next weekend, I will probably try to start the Grimm. But here's the thing, I will most likely be moving. My kids and I will most likely be moving to Virginia sometime in the next 2 months. And so my stitchy time at the end of this month is going to be very limited, probably, with all the house cleaning and packing and prep. And I won't have my husband here to help because he's not here. So that's the plan that I have, but I'm not going to pretend that I'm going to follow it exactly, because if I'm too overwhelmed, there's no way. This comes second to moving my entire family across the country. But I like to have this plan, and we'll see how it goes. But I'm really excited to be able to film again. I'm hoping to film on Monday. I like the idea of weekly videos. I can't guarantee I'll be able to do weekly videos, just because, again, I'm going to be moving. So this is not going to be the biggest priority until I'm settled. But who knows? I might just need this as my de-stressor at the end of each day. So I forgot where. I had a train of thought. And of course I lost it. I did get one other thing in the mail. I'm sure that I have moved it all around. But I ordered my first set of needle minders. I've made my own. So like this one is one that I made myself. I just went to Walmart and I just found all their cute little buttons, and then I cut the back of the button off, and then I sanded it down flat so that, you know, you didn't have little scissors, don't cut the button exact. And then I just glued on some earth magnets. And so I have some Nightmare Before Christmas ones from buttons I ordered, and I have this, and I have some Winnie the Pooh ones. So I've made my own, and this is, hold it up right, Angie. So this works. This is cute, and I like it, and it's fun. But I also like the idea of ordering needle minders from other people. I like supporting small businesses because I've tried to have my own small business with my woodworking, and I think it's important that we support each other. So I ordered these from Stitch and Button. I got this cute little popcorn because popcorn. Need I say more? I love popcorn. The only thing that would have made this better is if it was caramel popcorn. I ordered, oh, this one has a needle on it already. I ordered Stranger Things because this is a fantastic show and it is right up my alley. I love this show. And then she sent this one along as a bonus. This is her little, I don't know, can you see this okay? Focus, Stitch and Button 2020. I'm sorry, that's just really terrible focus. So I ordered those and they finally got here on Friday. So I'm very excited to be using these on my projects. And I think that is it. That's everything that I have. So if you are here again because you've watched my first video and you are back for more, I'm so glad to have you here. Thank you. I hope that something that I have to share is something that intrigues you or that you enjoy hearing about. If you are brand new to my channel, this is my second video. Be patient with me, I will get better. I'm a lot less nervous on this video than I was on the last video. And of course, I don't have a whole lot to show yet because I'm just starting. But give it time. I'm pretty sure that by this time next year, I will have 30 whips in tow, and y'all will be thinking I'm crazy for having so many whips. Like I think everybody else who has 60, 70 plus whips is crazy. Seriously, how are you going to stitch all of that? I mean, I love it. I love it. I don't know if I'm ever gonna get to that stage, but never say never. So that is all that I have for you. I hope that you guys have a wonderful day or night, depending on what time you're watching this. And I will see you later. Bye.